Okay, so last week we worked with finding the slope of a line, and now we're going to look at slope-intercept form. So the first part of this you should find fairly easy because you're going to have to look at an equation and identify your slope and your y-intercept. So the equation form that we always want to be in is y equals mx plus b. Okay? Your m and your b will be numbers. So you're always going to want y by itself equals to some number in front of x and then plus b. So the m is what we refer to as our slope, and our b is our y-intercept. So if I'm given the equation y equals negative 5x plus 3, and they want me to identify my slope and y-intercept. So they're going to label it as m and b, okay? Because m is your slope, b is your y-intercept. So when I look at this, my m is in front of my x. So when I look at this equation, what does m equal to? What is the number in front of my x? Negative 5. So m is equal to negative 5. What does my b equal then? 3. And that's all you have to do for those. Alright, what about y equals 1/4 x minus 6? So m equals b equals. So what is my m? Thank you. One-fourth. What is my b? Negative 6. Right? Because that one, if remember, I want it plus b, but if I rewrote this as a plus a negative, if I did keep flip change, that's how it's a negative 6 on that one. What about y minus x equals 5? So can I find my m and my b right now?
No.
Why not?
Because there's not, because the x.
What about the x?
It needs to be a number.
Not that. Because when there's no number in front of it, what's my x? What's my number?
It's 1.
A 1. But why can't I solve it right now?
It's flipped around.
What do you mean it's flipped around?
Like the y is not, there's that equal sign
Okay. Remember, it has to be y equals. So now it's like solving the equation. I need to get this y by itself. So how do I get y by itself? I already have y on this side, so I need to move this x. So how do I get rid of a negative x? It's the opposite of a negative x. Positive x. I'm going to add x to both sides. When I do that, y equals, those x's cancel out, and I'm left with x plus 5. It's just like if it was a number, you'd add it to the other side, but there's no other x's on this side, so I don't combine it with anything. Now I can find my m and my b. So m is what? A 1. B is 5. So you always have to have it y equals mx plus b. Question on that? Okay. The next part is going to ask you to write an equation of the line So write an equation of the line. So now they're going to give me slope and y-intercept, and they want me to come up with the equation part of it. So I'm going to say slope is 3/4, and my y-intercept is a -1/2. So that's what they're giving me, but now I need to come up with the equation for it. So I'm taking the same equation, plugging these two numbers into it. So I'm going to start with y equals, I know my m is 3/4, so 3/4 x, and you can either do plus a -1/2, or you can just do -1/2, because that is my b. So writing your equation, you're always going to keep your y first. Whatever your slope is, put it in front of your x. Whatever your y-intercept, put it at the end. So slope is -1/2. Y-intercept equals a -3. How am I going to write my equation?
You're scared, huh?
Huh? I'll come see you when I'm done.
When you're done.
Okay.
You're recording?
Yeah. Y equals what? How am I going to write my equation? I know I need y equals
1/2. -1/2.
-1/2 what?
X.
X. Then what?
-3.
Gentlemen, let's pay attention up here.
-3.
-3. Questions on writing the equation?
No.
Okay. So the next part of it, you're going to have to graph them. So given the equation, you have to graph. So if I ask you to graph y equals -3/2 x minus 1.
Oh.
So when I graph, I'm going to start at my y-intercept. Because what does intercept mean? When you hear the word intercept, what do you think? No? Like what, Travell? You've got it. What's that word? When they what? When they cross each other. So the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. So when I'm looking at my graph, the y-axis, is it horizontal or vertical? Vertical. So what is my y-intercept in this equation? That's my slope. What's my y-intercept? And y equals -3/2 x minus 1. What is my y-intercept? If I ask you to identify it.
-3/2.
Now that's my slope. Y-intercept is my b, so it's a -1. So whatever my y-intercept is, that's where I'm starting on my graph. Okay, so I'm starting at a -1 on the y-axis. So here's my y-axis, -1, that is my starting point. I'm no longer starting at that 0, 0. I'm starting at my y-intercept. Okay? Now my slope is -3/2. So what does slope tell me to do? What is slope? What did we do last week? What were the two R words that we used? rise over the run. Okay, so if it's a -3, which direction am I going first? I'm going to go down. So from here, I'm going down 3, and I got to do that 2. So what am I going to do with the 2? Right 2. So there is my point. So I can connect those up. I don't have a ruler. You will be able to use a ruler today if you want. So there is my graph.
Where's the graph is on our phone?
I'll give you the graph today though. So you start at your y-intercept, and then you use your slope to graph it. Okay? Let's try another one. To go to the next page, that's okay. Y equals x plus 3. So y equals x plus 3 is the graph we're looking at now. So where am I going to start on this graph? No, I don't want to start at the middle. Where do I start at?
3.
Why do I start at 3?
Because
It's your y-intercept. So we're starting at whatever this is. If it's a +3, a -3, whatever that is, that's where you start on your graph on the y-axis. So remember, your y-axis is going up and down. If it's positive, you'll be in the top part. If it's negative, you'll be in the bottom. Okay, so +3 is right there. What is my slope? When there's no slope, what is it?
1.
1 over 1, right? So it's a positive 1 over 1. So from here, I'm going up 1 and right 1. But in order to get a clear picture, I may want to do more dots. But I'm at the top of my line. So if I'm here, it's a positive. Couldn't I go down and left as well?
No.
I could. Because remember back to our slope, when it's our positive slope, we can go up and right or down and left. If it's a negative slope, we can go down and right or up and left. We added that into our slope notes last week. Okay? So we could keep continuing this for our slope and keep going because all of those are going to be on that line. Okay? So on your lines today, I will require you to have at least 3 points. Because you'll start with your y-intercept and then 1 on either side probably, depending on how it fits on the graph. Because you're just going to keep doing that same pattern. So it was up 1 over 1, but then we went down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. You keep that pattern going for each one. Okay? Let's try y equals 1/2 x minus 1. Y equals 1/2 x minus 1. So where am I going to start? -1, right? Starting at that -1, so from my origin I'm going down 1. Now what is my slope? 1 over 2, so what do I need to do? So I'm going to start here, I'm going up 1 over 2. Okay, I could keep that pattern going, up 1 over 2. Or I could start from here and go down 1 over 2. And all of those are on my line.
Oh, yeah.
Questions? On your homework today, the graph will be provided for you to make it easier.
That's said we did good. We did good.
Yep. Alright, this next one I want you to try by yourself. Y equals negative 4/3 x plus 2. So go ahead and try it by yourself. See how you do.